Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome to Grammatical Structure. This is the 13th lesson, the lesson before the last. And I decided to choose a very easy topic for you, which is called the passive voice. In English, there are two types of sentences. We talk about the active voice and the passive voice. Let's have some examples so we know what is active and what is passive. If we say, Noha made a cake, this is an active voice sentence. What do we mean by active voice sentence? That we have a subject, the doer of the verb, the one who did the verb, in Arabic al-fa'il, we have a verb, and we have an object or the complement of the verb, the complement, the completion of the sentence. This is the right order of the sentence. We have a subject, verb, object. We call this active sentence. If we reverse the order, it is changed into something else. Let's see the second example. The cake was made by Noha. We started with the cake, and then we have the verb was made, and then by Noha. Noha is the subject. Noha who did the cake. Noha who made the cake. But we ended up the sentence with Noha. This is called passive voice. When we reverse the order of the sentence, we have the object of the sentence before the verb, and we have the subject after the verb. But there are some conditions to the passive voice. The first one, when we move the object, we change the verb to something else. Notice here we have in the active sentence made, but here we have was made. So if the active sentence is in the past, the passive voice should be in the past. Notice that we used was. If the active sentence in the present, we use is or am or. It depends on the noun here. And then after we change the verb, we put by and then the subject that did the verb. So it is very easy. We change the order between cake and Noha, and we change the verb by adding verb to be before it, and then we add by, because if we say the cake was made and we stop, it's incomplete. Nobody will understand, so we need to complete the sentence. The cake was made by Noha. This structure is the most frequently used structure of the passive voice. Sometimes we will see that with sentences we can use the passive voice, but we don't need by anymore. But these are special cases, and you will see them in a minute. As we see here, the present and the past, this is the structure of the passive voice. Either we have is, am, are, plus the verb, ed. I mean here the past participle. I don't mean the past form. So we need to recall the past participle. We said in English there are three forms of the verb. The basic one, like for example, go. The past, which is went, and the past participle, which is gone. We have, for example, play is the basic form, played the past form, played also the past participle. So some verbs, if we add the ed to, can be both the past and the past participle. Some verbs are called irregular. They need special form for the past and special form for the past participle. Some verbs are the same in the past and the past participle. and some verbs are the same in the present, the past, and the past participle. If you go to your book, I think towards the end of the book, you will see lists of verbs to help you know which form to use. For example, you have run, ran, run. Run is the basic form, the simple form. Ran is the past, run is the past participle. In the passive voice, we use the past participle in the verb, and then we have by, and we write the subject, the doer, الفاعل, الشخص اللي قام بالفعل. We call it subject, or the doer of the verb. So it is a matter of reversing the order of the sentence. We use the passive voice. Someone would say, why do we need the passive voice? It is mainly used in technical writing, and it's mainly used in research. And notice what I've said earlier. It is mainly used. This is a passive voice. It is mainly used, and we will see in a minute, very shortly, how do we use the passive voice with it. The cake was made of strawberry. The cake was made for the guests. What's different here? What happened? We deleted Nuha. Nuha no longer is in the sentence. Why? Because we want to say something else. We are not interested in who made the cake. We don't want to say who made the cake. We want to say what it is made of. The cake was made of strawberry. The cake was made for the guest. We don't want to say what the cake is made of. We want to say to which the cake is made for. It is made for the guests. It's made for the cats. It's made for people. It's made for a party, etc. So you see, sometimes in the passive voice we don't need to use the frequent structure, which is using by, blah blah blah. You can use it, the passive voice, to talk about something else. It depends on your needs. It depends on what you want to say. So these two examples help you to see that sometimes we don't need to use by. Passive voice with it, as I mentioned a few seconds ago, the active sentence, people believe that the earth is round. If you want to say it in the passive, it's difficult to reverse the order. We cannot say, for example, the earth is round is believed by people. You see, we ruined the sentence. We started to talk nonsense, non-English sentences. But the correct sentence is to say it is believed that the earth is round. So it is believed. You see, sometimes with the passive voice we can change it by deleting, for example, people. We have it, and then we started to apply the passive rule. We have is, and the past participle, it is believed that the earth is round. If you don't want to confuse yourself with past participle, with all of these terms and structures, it's fine. Okay, it's fine with me. But you have to practice these sentences a lot. Some people can learn things by practice. They do not know the rules, but they can practice these structures and use them very correctly. So with these sentences, if you have, for example, belief and you want to use it in the passive voice, you can say it is believed, or it was believed if it is in the past. So these two examples, the first two examples about the active and passive present voices, we have them sometimes in the past. People thought that English was a difficult language. Again, we cannot say, for example, English was a difficult language, was thought by people. No, this is wrong. You can say it was thought that English was a difficult language. These two pairs of sentences, the first two is for active present and passive present, and the second two are for talking about the past. So with the passive voice, we can use it in the present and we can use it in the past. But you need to understand that sometimes we can use by. The cake was made by Nuha. Sometimes we don't need by. We can say the sentence without by. And sometimes we can use the passive voice in a special form. It is believed. It is thought. It was thought. It was found. It was used. It is used. It is found. For example, if there is a new discovery of a mountain, or a new, for example, a new rock, for example, you can say it was found in, for example, India, in America. For example, if I ask you, what is this for? You say it is used for. For example, a spoon. A spoon is used for steering things or scoping things. So you see, sometimes you can use the passive voice in special cases. These phrases or this structure, you can memorize them by heart. You don't need to think a lot about them. Memorize them by heart. It is used. It is found. It is thought. It is believed. You can say, for example, it has been found. It has been used. If you memorize these, you can then easily use them in your speech. And by listening, and I'm sure you have a listening course, by listening a lot, your ear is accustomed or is used to these structures, so you start then speak them very easily. This is it with the passive voice. Now we are going to debug to do some exercises about the transitions and the connectors that we talked about in the 12th lesson, because we are not going to have exercises about the passive voice, because the passive voice is not included in the final exam. I introduced the passive voice because it's an important topic in English grammar, and as English major students, you need to have an idea about the passive voice. Now let's go to the book. We have number 1. I was playing tennis. Ted was gardening. We have while, meanwhile, when, at the same time. With while, we don't use it in the beginning of the sentence like this one. So it's not the correct one. Meanwhile, no, it's not the correct meaning of the sentence. When is far away from the correct meaning. So be at the same time. Ted was gardening. This is the correct answer. At the same time. George went to his office quickly. He could make a phone call. We have so that because as a result. Here we have a reason why he was running very quickly. And I think so that is the correct answer. But is it so that with full stop and capital to start a new sentence, or so that with small letter and we put it in the middle? Yes, B is the correct answer. As I said, so that is used in the middle of the sentence. We do not use it in the beginning of the sentence. So B is the correct answer. Pablo has gained a lot of weight. He can barely fit into his car. So we have here a consequence, a cause and effect, the effect or the results. So we have therefore. Yes, therefore he can barely fit into his car. We cannot say because or so that. No, here all of these four reasons, and here we want a result. Of gaining a lot of weight. He cannot fit into his car. He cannot go inside his car. Number 4, the last one. We were friends. He still tried to cheat me. Because we are not talking about a reason. So because and so are not included. We have even though or however. Here we are talking about what? Are we contrasting two different things? No, we are talking about, as I said, على الرغم من, even though we were friends, he still tried to cheat me. So this little exercise was to help you a lot, or help you more with the connectors and transitions. Hopefully, now we covered the most important parts of the course, and I'm planning the 14th lesson to do some exercises of the previous chapters if you like, and to do more practices on these structures and to prepare you for the final exam. I wish you all the best and thank you very much.